Welcome again. I'm here with Jill Branson this time for our second interview of the day. Hey, Jill.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, I'm Michelle Hausbeck, and I own a design, marketing, and communications firm here in Las Vegas. It's called Hausbeck Brand. And I am setting up interviews with business owners so we can band together, get through this maze, share helpful information, and just get the word out about what we can still offer, even though we're set up virtually. And Jill is, I think, pretty much ready to go virtually too. We're going to learn a little bit more about that. Welcome, Jill.
Well, it's so exciting to be here, and I just love this new group. It's awesome.
Yay!
Thank you.
So I gotta say, you inspired me too. I love that tiara.
Well, we have to feel pretty.
We do. I had to go get mine. 40 years old this year.
The big 4-0.
Yes. So Jill is a communication stylist. She is a business coach. She is a trainer and a certified speaker with the John Maxwell Team. So you do a lot with communication, it seems.
Oh, yes, I do. I am basically helping one-on-ones or companies, small business, virtually anyone that's having issues with communicating. I also speak and try to give people some inspiration, especially those that are have been in the corporate world and maybe they've lost their job and they want to get out there, and just to inspire them to start thinking and dreaming about what it is that they want to do, follow their dream. From the time they were 5 years old, they may have had something, but let it go to the wayside.
Right. So I'm sure it's what you do and what you help people with has changed quite a bit, because I know one of the big things is to help people learn how to network, right?
Right.
And obviously we can't network in person right now.
Uh-huh.
So what are some of the things that you can help people with, in this newly virtual world we have?
Well, one thing I can say is this is such a blessing for the introvert. They don't have to go out and actually see people.
Right.
They can see them by way of Zoom or Skype or however it is that they do, FaceTime. And I think that that is going to be a great test for people to be able to learn how to communicate and just be comfortable in your own skin. Just get out there, and like when you have to be on a virtual meeting of some sort, you're going to have a lot of people there. There's going to be all their faces. They're just not physically with you,
Right.
but you'll be able to carry on conversations. But the more that the introvert or someone who's shy goes out there and does more of these Zooms, the more they're going to start building up their confidence. Because as we know, repetitive, they need to just keep doing it and doing it and doing it till they're comfortable.
Yeah. Okay. So do you think it's an easier, like dipping your toe into the networking scene virtually? Is it
Mhm.
easier for the
Definitely,
introverts rather than walking into a big room full of people?
definitely.
Okay.
Because I think what happens is the longer we stay behind closed doors, except for taking a walk and
Right.
going to the grocery store, the more we want to stay in because we start to get comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And so, as you need to, I guess, as you start to, we know we have a date that we're going to be able to get back to the new normal. Um, the more Zooms and the more things you have, you've made connections so you don't feel so awkward
Right.
going out to see people or go to meetings or any public place with a lot of people.
Well, and I think too, this has been happening with me more so over phone conversation. I'm being introduced to slash just having connection with people I don't know, right? So
Right.
I would be excited to meet them in person when we can.
Exactly. That's the truth because I've been on probably two or three already where it was like a network group that I wasn't able to go to because I can't go to certain ones at a certain time because I'm having my own meeting. So I was able virtually to go in um, and see who it was and be able to connect because they're mostly videotaped, right? So
Right.
you can go back and look at them, and then when you hear or see someone that you want to connect with, there's your perfect way of doing it, because your name comes up anyway
Right.
on the screen. And so then you find out who it is, you've got the face. And so you can go on Facebook or someplace and look them up in some way, shape, or form. And hopefully they did a commercial and gave their contact information. But this has opened up a whole new world. And this was going to
Yeah.
happen anyway. It just happened sooner. That's all it is.
Yep.
And so I think when people are pretty much in crisis mode, this is when their creative juices start coming out.
Oh yeah.
Now, if you've seen some of my Facebook posts, I've been going to all these funny sites just to get some humor and reposting. And some of the things that people are doing are just amazing. And how they've created because they're bored or they
Yeah.
just want to do something to humor themselves, but they share it. So it is
The-
true, and it works with our business as well. We're going to start being more creative and carrying those things that we created while we're here
right.
over into the new normal. So
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a shift, like you were saying,
definitely.
the new normal. Absolutely. Have
Hmm.
you? I know you host your own a couple of your own networking events,
Yes.
and then obviously you attend some. Have all of yours gone virtual, and have you seen other ones becoming virtual and online?
Yes, mine have become virtual. We had our first virtual, I think it was last week, with my Vegas Connects is the name of my networking group, and it went well. And here's the thing: is there are many people who are scared to death of Zoom and Skype because they think that they don't know, they can't figure it out, right? So if you go to YouTube, trust me, there are a million things out there that you can figure it out. Somebody is going to have some kind of information and a video that will explain it. Zoom has it. If you go to Zoom, they have tutorials that explain most of the things, and you can have your own group. You can do whatever it is you want.
Right.
There's a free version and there's one that you pay. The free version, you only get 40 minutes of Zoom, but you pay for a monthly or by the year, and
Right.
you can have, I don't know, I can't even remember. I know I can have 100 or more, uh,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you get different features and things like that. But I don't know that much about Skype, but I know FaceTime for people, and also we have on Facebook Messenger, you're able to, excuse me, do some, what do they call it when you,
The
the
video.
video that's on the Messenger.
Right.
Um, what would we have done if we didn't have the internet? We would be so isolated. And this has opened up, for people that are stuck at home and
Hmm.
they're single, they're by themselves, and so not everyone has a pet.
Right.
So, you know, uh, and we're one of those that we don't. So, and we loved our animals, but we both work and we both go in opposite directions constantly. So we decided not to get another one. But
Right.
that's why I post so many. those little things I post at night, they're all something that it gives joy to other people, and it makes me feel like I have a pet when I don't.
Yep.
So,
Speaking of being together, who are you quarantined up with
I'm
there?
quarantined with my husband, Ron, and we're about to have on April 15th. I guess we're staying here, our 25th wedding anniversary. And
25th.
yes, 25th.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we were planning on taking a trip, and we're one of those that we kind of wait till the last minute to choose where we're going to go, unless it's a cruise or something. And even then, you could do that. But we like to kind of do it on the spur of the moment at you know, and say, okay, we're leaving for 5 days or whatever it is.
Right.
And so yes, so that's it. And then I have three children. Two are Ron's, one is mine, and each of them have children who have children. So we have six grandchildren, and we have seven great grandchildren between the two of us. So
I did not know that. I was reading, what you had sent me. Wow.
yeah,
No,
there's a
that's
lot.
fantastic.
But the reason people don't think that, number one, is because we they all live somewhere else.
Right.
My son lives in Idaho. I mean, not Idaho, in Colorado with my grandchildren, and his kids live up in Idaho with theirs, and they're just everywhere. My nieces and nephews. We're the only ones here. Our friends are you, you know, our neighbors, things like that. But that's what makes your family.
Right. Have you guys been able to Zoom together at all yet?
No, we have not.
Okay. Yeah,
He's on a Zoom call right now.
yeah, you should. My folks live here too, and I see my dad from time to time, but I'm gonna Zoom with them also.
I think yeah, because we're both learning to do a lot more on Zoom than what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And, as we know, there's been trouble with buffering and things like that because they are just inundated with everybody on the internet
Oh yeah.
now. And so we have to be patient and know that it is going to get better.
It will. If somebody needs help or wants to set up, a group or a networking group, is that something that they can reach out to you with?
Yes, I'd be happy to help with that.
Okay. And also too, why don't you tell us a little bit about, who are you looking for right now? Even though things have shifted a bit, we are still finding ways, like you said, to get out there and network and, share how we can help others. So who are you looking for?
Right now, who I'm looking for is the person that's an introvert or shy, like I had mentioned, and someone that's new to business, somebody that is new to Las Vegas. Um, they want to get out there and they want to meet people other
Right.
than using Meetup, which seems to be what everybody uses. But a quicker way to get out and learn how to network in Las Vegas. Because as we know, Las Vegas is a whole different world when it comes to networking. Because we're so transient, people are not quite as trusting as in some places. And so there's just etiquette, networking etiquette,
Yes.
not only in person, but online, whatever it is. And that's the one-on-one type coaching that I do. I also do training for small business and to try to get the communication, uh, get them to open up and actually learn about each other. Because what happens is the management stays with the management and the employees stay with the employees. And it needs to be like this
Right.
because when you don't have that type of communication, you've got like we call it, the coffee room or the break room, and this is going on. because they they see that all the turmoil that is going on right now, especially the managers and things like that, when they come back, my tip for that is that they're going to need to learn how to communicate with them way better,
Right.
because each one of us has a different way of coping with this and coping with a crisis. Some people are always looking for the negative and what it is and how the world's going to fall apart, and others are going to be looking for a way to make everything better.
Right.
And so when they all merge back to work, you have to be patient and you have to be able to find ways to bring everyone together and communicate. And
Right.
it's not just large corporations, it's medium sized, small businesses with 5 employees,
Right.
especially with the business person, the owner is going to be overwhelmed because of what has just happened.
Mhm.
And they're so consumed with what's going to happen and how they can keep their business afloat that sometimes they'll forget the employee.
Right. And that's, the core, that's a
That's
big piece of the core of the business.
the, the people.
Right.
They are they are the face of the company
Hmm.
because they're the ones that are out there. When they go home, everyone knows where they work.
Right.
And if they're sharing that they're not happy or whatever it is, that news spreads way quicker than the good.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, yeah. People tend to focus on the negative. That's very true.
right, exactly.
You had uh you had mentioned networking etiquette, right?
Yes.
And I've seen videos that you've done, throughout the couple of years about networking etiquette. I'm curious though to hear a couple networking etiquette tips for online.
Ah,
Do you have some of those that you can share?
I do. I would say that the priority is when you start to network, say you're at a new group and they've asked you to introduce yourself. What I would start with, rather than my name is, and this is my business, and this is what I do, and blah, 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 the typical,
Right.
elevator pitch, I would start with, this is my name, and this is who I am. I've lived in Las Vegas for X amount of years, or where it is that you're from, because
Okay.
some people are from other places. And then go into what the pain points are right now with people and how you can serve them. And then at the end, say, this is what I'm offering. Don't
Right.
start with that. That would just be, because all of us, we don't want to. I'm already getting personal messages from companies saying, do you want this, do you want that? I don't want to hear that right now. And you have to think too, most people are worried about their finances right now because
Right.
of being shut in. So if you're going to start networking now, if you're in a group that everyone knows you, just start off sharing what it is that you went through during this time.
Right.
How you're feeling, what's going on. Be real. Be who you are. Don't try to be someone else. That's the biggest key, and just how you can serve others. And it doesn't have to always be that you're selling. You share with them some places that you volunteer and
Right.
you could use the help. There's a lot of nonprofits out there right now that
Yes,
are
there
really
are.
needing help and struggling because of being shut down, you know.
Mhm.
So that's a couple of tips, I guess I could say.
Yeah. Well, and really, I think a lot of them apply to whether you're online or in person too,
Right.
just being real and authentic. But that is more important, I think, now in this atmosphere as well.
Well, one thing that I learned, and I'll tell you because I was a flight attendant for 10 years and it was during 9/11, people, when they get back, they start coming back to what the new normal is, and that's going to be another new phrase, new normal, is they're grateful and they're so happy to be back to whatever it is that they can't thank people enough. And they're considerate and they're kind. But as we go back and we start to get in our routine and months pass, people will start going back to their old selves. So
Right.
if you can remember to still thank those people that you have been thanking, like right now, of course it's all the first responders, the grocery store clerks that are constantly, they're handling with gloves and things, but I haven't seen any with masks on yet, but there's people coming through, that sort of thing. We have to
Remember to stay grateful and
stay
courteous and
grateful and
kind.
courteous. That's the bottom line. And I think if you just stay who you are and stay authentic, people, we're drawn to that as human beings. When somebody shares a story about how they felt when this crisis happened or whatever, you're immediately building a bond.
Right.
So I think that when you're distant and you're not just being who you are, make some jokes, have some fun. Why do you think I wore the tiara?
That made me chuckle as soon as we got on the video.
I know. People probably weren't expecting that, but
No.
try to get that, even if you're not humorous, find something to smile about, because smiles are catching.
They are.
They're catching. It doesn't matter. And share posts. Share the good posts. Don't be sharing the negative.
Right.
Try their very best to not put political things or something that you're angry about or whatever it is on your Facebook, of course, your LinkedIn, because that's definitely more business, of course, than Facebook. But think before you post, because
That's a good hashtag.
yeah, think before you post. If you want to keep your friends and you want to keep your clients and customers, you have to try to stay in a mode of kindness and
Positivity.
yes,
Right.
positivity. And that's one of my biggest recommendations right there.
Think
So
before you post.
think before you post.
And I'm going to chime in a little bit on that too, because, for what I do with people's brand image and brand strategy,
Mhm.
uh, consumers, customers, humans in general are really going to remember how businesses, how
Mhm.
brands, how individuals, any business owner handles the situation and treats people during the situation. So if you are a business owner or very, in the C-level class of a larger corporation, even if it's on your personal page, think before you post, because
Right.
all of that goes back to, the brand that you are attached to, whether it's yours or not. And just ask yourself, what kind of light do you want to be out in this world right now? The positive, authentic, but not, being very negative. So what kind of light do you want to be? You want to be a bright light? You want to be a dark light? And just, think one step further about the repercussions the negative light could have.
Well, and the other thing is too, we're all leaders in some way. In some way, we're a parent. In some way, shape, or form, you're not. It's not just your business. It's your family, your many other things that, of course, it just blew right out of my head right now. But anyway, um, so the fact that we are all leaders, this is when the leaders come out. This is
Right.
when you see the true leader and who they are.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is a time to reflect and think about who it is that you're talking to, when you're doing your social media, when you're sending an email. As we know, sometimes emails are taken wrong because of the fact that you're making maybe an abrupt sentence, but
Right.
it could be, people could read into it 100 ways. And we always think not the positive, but the negative. So be careful when you post, be careful when you send an email, especially right now, because people are looking for anything that will lift them up.
Yeah. So it just really being aware of messaging, right?
Uh-huh.
And regardless of what it is. And also, I mean, being sensitive and aware to how everybody's feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
That, and because we're, if anybody knows about the disc,
Hmm.
and the, what it is you might be an I and somebody else is, like my husband and I are totally opposite. So I have to stop and think his way of reacting is to take control, and I have to get all my ducks in a row, and oh my gosh, and my thinking is, okay, I'm going to make sure that all my stuff is, good, but I don't like get so
Freak out.
focused. I don't freak out. I always think up. I'm always thinking the positive.
Right.
And sometimes that can be a problem because that causes you at some time um, to be basically putting your head in the sand and not really seeing what's happening around you. So,
Right. Well, it sounds like you guys have a good balance though, then that way. You can balance
yeah,
each.
it works. It works
Yeah.
perfect because the way he thinks, I'm always doing, aha. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Right.
And and he always comes to me for when he's feeling all that pressure
Mm-hmm. And
because
you
I've
can
always got
like,
the way to lift up.
yep. Well, that's a great balance.
Yeah, it is.
So Jill, how can people get a hold of you if they want some help with networking or communication?
They can give me a call. My number is 408-836-0125, or they can email me at Jill, M as in mother, Branson.com.
Perfect. And I will make sure to put that information in the post as well.
Okay.
And thank you very much for joining me today and bringing some sparkle and shine into everyone's
Good.
world.
Thank you for asking me. I'm
Well,
really happy to do it. You're my first interview since
yeah.
all this happened.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Do you have any other little, you know,
I just
tidbits of advice you'd like to
one
share?
other thing is right now I have a mastermind group, and I'm going to be starting another one. This one is going to go 6 months,
Okay.
and I will be starting another one. And if you're not sure what a mastermind group is, please uh, contact me, and I will give you that information. It's kind of a lengthy one, but whatever it is, you would love it because it's working everybody's mind, trying to get us all um, sharing ideas and thoughts. And it's amazing what you learn and how it moves your business forward. So
I'm a huge fan of mastermind groups.
yes,
They're very, very beneficial
yes,
and easily converted virtually if they're not already
that's
virtually.
right. We're getting ready to do our mastermind on the second week of April. So, and we're not quite supposedly back to going out yet. So it'll be another one of those tests for the people that aren't quite sure how to use Zoom, but now's the time. We're all there to help.
Yep. And there's plenty of information and, Jill or I, no problem helping you
That's
guys if
right.
anyone has issues with
Would
Zoom.
love to help.
Yes. All right, Jill, we're going to sign off and thank you again. I hope you
Thank
have
you.
a great day. You're welcome. Great information.
Oh, thank you. And thank you because I get a lot of information from you, Miss Marketer.
You're welcome. All
Bye, everyone.
right. Bye. Have a great day. Stay safe.